So I had already done a tutorial on this kind of like low kind of drugstore foundations, but the video quality wasn't very good and the lighting was terrible, so I'm going to do it again. Okay, so I've already gone in with my Embryolisse moisturiser, and for a primer this is for the drugstore foundation, I'm going to use Primed and Ready by Collection 2000. This is a good primer, but it is silicone based. It's quite simple. I think it pretty much just is silicone and a few other bits, so it can clog up your pores, but it doesn't clog up mine, and I actually prefer this to my MAC Primed and Ready, which MAC Primed and Ready hydrates your skin, and it is good, but I don't know, this just kind of, it's so basic and it's so simple, so I think that's why I like it so much. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so now that's given me a good base to put my foundation on. Now, I've got two foundations here. The foundation that I'm going to use for this tutorial is Maybelline Fit Me. This is a fantastic dupe for Tom Ford. For those of you who do not know Tom Ford make really, really good foundations, but they're £70. Beautiful product, but £70. This is like it's £8, I think, £8.99, something like that. It's just such a good dupe, so I'm going to use that. Another foundation that I absolutely love from the high street, from the drugstore, is Revlon Colour Stay. Now, if you have kind of a combination to oily skin or dry and kind of normal skin, then this is really good because it comes in two different types, so for your skin tone, so you can buy one for you according to your skin tone. It has a good colour range as well, but it is a bit more expensive. It's nearly £15 and it doesn't come with a pump, and that drives me. I hate that. Like, it's 14 quid. Like, if it's so expensive, it is expensive. It's like I still think it's expensive, yet they can't put a pump on it. I just don't get that. So I actually transfer it into this, and this is the Estee Lauder Idealist Minimal Pore, just any like dispenser. This ran out, so I use it for my Revlon Colour Stay. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm going to put a couple of pumps, several pumps on my hand. Now, I don't like to use my stippling brush for these kinds of foundations because they're too kind of fluidy. So I'm going to go in with a damp beauty blender. This is moist, and this is the only product that I trust that's not going to soak up. Like, it's the only sponge that I know it doesn't soak up any like liquid. It literally takes the product straight through your face. Now, this is it has no oils or waxes in it. That's the great thing about Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Where did I just put that? There it is. It's really, it is really good, but it can make your skin feel like it's a bit more oily. So if you are prone to oily skin, then you definitely need to set this with a really good powder. So I'm just going to tap this on, and it just goes on like, oh, it's lovely. It's really lovely, and it's not too. I hate fragrant stuff, but it's not too fragrant. But it's really, really lovely. So there we go. That's the foundation. Now, it is kind of, I'd say, light to medium coverage. I wouldn't go as far as saying as this is full coverage. I love this feeling. I'm just going to go around and go because it feels nice. So, because it's not full coverage, I'm going to go in with a concealer. Now, I've got two concealers here. The concealer I'm going to use for this is Maybelline Fit Me. It's a very good concealer. It corresponds to the product I'm using, and it's only £2.99, I believe. However, I feel I have to give the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer a mention because it says it's 16-hour wear, and it really is. This is an absolute spitting image dupe for Estee Lauder Double Wear. It doesn't have a very good shade range. It only has like 4 shades, which are still, they're quite light shades, but this is so good. I have actually sheared this out onto my whole face and worn it as a type of foundation, and it left me such a lovely finish. So, but for this, I'm going to go in with this. Now, Maybelline Fit Me foundation has SPF 18. So it's so good on like a sunny day. However, if you're going to have photographs, beware. SPF, as I've mentioned, contains titanium dioxide, and that's going to flash. If you have flash photography or you're on a night out, you're going to look like a disco ball next to your friends. So just to warn you, if you've ever had a night out and seen a photo and you look really, really white and you're like, but my foundation fit me. I don't understand. Like, why do I look white, you know? That is why, because chances are the foundation you've used has SPF in it. So I'm going to go in with the stippling brush because this is slightly a heavier product. I'm just going to blend it out. I love this brush. I love this brush so much. I prefer it to any other brush. I think I might have raved about this brush in my other now, there we go. I am going to go in with a highlighter. I want to get rid of these dark lines. I get really bad dark circles. This one, okay, I know this is like a low end like kind of tutorial on foundation, but this is Estee Lauder and it's the Ideal Light. Now, Boots do an identical one. So it's almost identical packaging, it looks exactly the same, it's in the same kind of clip dispenser, and it's £12 I think, and it's really, really good product. So I'm going to go in just here with this highlighter, and it will just highlight the dark area. Oh, well done me. There we go. I always like to put some on my Cupid's bow. There we go. Okay, now rather than use a stippling brush, I use this with my finger and like kind of tap it in, and then just at these outside bits blend it in. Seems really like a long drawn out process, but if you practice it, it doesn't take very long. And you don't have to do all these, you can just put the foundation on and set that. You can just use the concealer on its own and blend that out. You can you know, you don't have to go through this whole process, but this is just for someone who wants kind of a really good coverage. Okay, so there you go, you've got it. Now, I normally like to wait for a product to dry before I go in with a powder, or what I'll do is do my foundation, then do my eyes, and then go to foundation. So my eyes look terrible because I've just taken off makeup constantly. So while I wait for that to dry, I'm just going to explain, there will be more tutorials coming. Mainly, I do bridal makeup and work with kind of products like Cat, Mac Pro, not Mac as in MAQ Pro, those kind of products which are more kind of professional makeup artist products, and those are the products that I'm familiar with because I use them for photography. And so for the however, I am an absolute makeup junkie when it comes to drugstore foundation, so my tutorials are going to be about using drugstore foundations and drugstore products. Is another tip I'm going to do about building a MAC kit. Coastal Scents do a wonderful 28 palette for eyeshadows. Now, they are really well pigmented, they can be chalky so you must prime your eye, but they are really a brilliant dupe. Now, I saw in another video, and I'm going to write it down, the names of each, if those products, if each of those eyeshadows were MAC, then this person had put the names of what they were, if they were MAC. So I came up with the idea that if you were to run out of those, you can depot them and then slowly replace them with whatever kind of MAC eyeshadows you like. And that means then that you can do it in a time frame that's affordable. You could like buy one eyeshadow a month and just gradually replace it, basically building up your kit that way. So anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to go in with the this is the Rimmel Clear Complexion. This I think is the best powder that Rimmel do. A lot of people say go in with a powder, put the powder on, dust it off, and then roll, or kind of roll like that, and that's really good because it presses the powder in the skin, it doesn't disturb the foundation. But I do like to go in with a brush, so I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush, just dust it off, and just set this, like so. And there we go, that's a lovely finish. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is Sleek, and I'm not affiliated with this product, but I just love Sleek. Their eyeshadows are perfect MAC dupes. They are so pigmented, they're fantastic, they're really good. I'd use them on a client, they are that good. This is the, they've got so many different types of things out, like contouring correctors. They've got like, well, this is a contouring kit, which is, you know, a lot of the drugstore brands don't do them. Anyway, this is the set I've got. This is in light. I think it was dark, medium and light. So I'm going to take this matte kind of like bronzer, and I'm going to take this on my contouring brush, my Real Techniques contouring brush, and I'm going to go in. It looks really dark, don't fear, and you can do this as light and heavy as you want. I've got a round face, I'm really self-conscious about it, can't stand it, so I'm going to go under there. Then I'm going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush and just buff that into the skin. There we go. Okay, next I'm going to get the same brush and I'm going to use the highlighter in the middle, which is lovely for highlighting the higher planes of the face. And down there. I like to do a bit on the cupid's bow, just because it's pretty. And then I'm going to use, this is such a stunning, where's the camera? Can you see? It's like a kind of coral shell pearlescent. In fact, I'll use a bit on this cheek just to show you. It's really, really pretty. So there's that cheek there. But I wasn't actually going to use that. I was going to use this. This is by NO7. In fact, I'll do one cheek one way and one cheek the other. So that is using the Sleek. So that gives you a much warmer look. Then I'm going to go on this side with the NO7. This is in Coral Blush. You can see I've already hit pan on it. It's a popular one for me because it's not actually that pigmented, which some people don't like, but it just means that when you go in with it, you're not going to be left with tons of colour. You just build it up. So then it looks really harsh now. Go in with a brush ferociously, and then you are going to be left with such lovely, pretty skin. And again, I'm going to go in with the MUA Nude. And that, if you had dark eyes, is a beautiful, beautiful look. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Sorry I've got like one cheek one way, one cheek the other, but it just gives you a bit of an idea. And yeah, there'll be the other tutorial coming up as well. Thanks!